the Rams versus the Buccaneers. In week 3, the Rams beat the Bucs 34-24. The Bucs are 2.5-point favorites. Drew, you're picking the Rams. You picked them to go to the Super Bowl. You're Ramily, and the chant they were cheering at the Rams Stadium.
Let's hear it.
Was, whose house is this? Rams house.
I like that.
And this towel, it says champs here. But sadly, it's NFC West champs. So not NFC Championship champs, not Super Bowl champs. It's NFC West champs. So will they be more than just NFC West champs?
100%. 100%. They're going to be NFC champions, Super Bowl champions, TBD. I need my time. Bills have been playing great. Chiefs are the Chiefs. You never know. That being said, this is an easy one for me personally.
Ooh.
Is this for me, bro?
Yes.
This guy spoiled me this weekend. He spoiled me this weekend. I got to say thank you. I won't say what you blessed me with because they don't need to know all that, but thank you, bro. That being said, about this game, I look at the Buccaneers and I worry about their weapons. Jalen Ramsey is the best corner in football. I won't hear it any other corner. I don't care who it is. If it's not Jalen Ramsey, I don't want it. Because forget about his lockdown coverage. In open field tackling, Jalen Ramsey might be the best tackling cornerback I've ever seen in my lifetime. There's no one I've seen that is more willing to make contact with the opposing player than Jalen Ramsey. He wants to hit the offensive player. He is so special when it comes to play recognition and just adapting on the fly. Jalen Ramsey is just a special cat. I love his game. And he only has to worry about Mike Evans this weekend. And that's all the Eagles had to worry about this weekend, and didn't matter because Mike Evans absolutely destroyed them, had over 100 yards. He had 117, 9 receptions, and a touchdown. He was amazing. But it's a whole different ball game when you're going against Jalen Ramsey. And you look at this game against the Eagles, they did not have to throw that much. But there was not another receiver on this team that had over 40 yards. And in the run game, Keyshawn Vaughn played a good game for Keyshawn Vaughn's standards, but he had 17 carries for 53 yards. He had Gio Bernard rush for 13 carries, 44 yards, which is a little bit better efficiency, but still not great. Both of them scored. But it was because they were both really close to the red zone when they had these opportunities. I just can't see a way that the Buccaneers win this game. I think that they don't have the personnel to match up with the Rams right now. I don't think that we'll see a game that we saw from them early on this season where the Rams absolutely dominated the Buccaneers. I personally don't see that. I do think this will be a competitive game, arguably the best game this weekend. I'm lying. Bills-Chiefs is going to be the game of the week. That being said, this is going to be a very close second. I just think Rams right now, forget about how they're playing. I think personnel-wise, they are just more talented overall. They're just the healthier team overall. And I think we're seeing a lot of injuries on that offensive line from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers this past weekend. I'm not sure what the injury report is right now, but you're going to see a banged-up Wirfs, and that is going to be an absolute field day for Von Miller and Aaron Donald. Tom Brady was sacked 4 times against a good defensive line in the Eagles. But it's not the Rams' defensive line. The Rams' defensive line is the best in the NFL. And if Tom Brady doesn't have his guy protecting his right side, I think that it is going to be a long day for the Buccaneers. But it's Tom Brady. I'll give him that respect that he deserves. It will be a close game, but ultimately Rams are winning this game. And my final prediction is going to be 27-21.
Real quick before you go, The Athletic is reporting that Jim Harbaugh would accept the Vegas job if it was offered to him.
Okay, yeah, that's great news. I love your vote of confidence, Drew. I mean, you have to stick with it at this point. It's too late for you to back down now. So
Again,
I can understand.
That's not me.
I can understand.
Anyone that watches this show knows.
We got the Rams fan. We got the Bucks fan.
I can understand.
Ramily, we're going to ride into the sunset. We're going to be on the horns, holding on the whole way. We're going, baby. Trust.
You know, last year, as I repeated on the show all the time, I picked the Bucks to win the Super Bowl, and it was like my June pick. I'm very happy about that. I'm gonna gloat about that for the entirety of
rest of your life. Yeah, I would too.
That was a great pick. They're not the same team from last year. They're not.
Definitely not.
Being a Rams fan for one night when I went to the playoff game.
Tell us about it.
Best night of your life?
It was great. You know, I got the chance to feel what winning is like in a playoff game. The Jets have never given me that.
Oh,
It's 2010. Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
You were in middle school.
I haven't felt that in a while, and I've never felt that in the stadium. But I felt that energy in the stadium. But my main concern with the Bucs is Matthew Stafford.
Shocker.
In that game, Matthew Stafford didn't have to play beyond himself because everything was really there for him.
I mean, he had 343, 4 touchdowns.
Those passes to wait, 343. What are you talking about?
In this game?
No, I'm talking about the last week versus Cardinals.
I was going to say because when they played the Bucs, he absolutely went bonkers.
No, yeah, I'm talking about the Cardinals. The throws to OBJ, they were phenomenal. There's no doubt.
Van Jefferson. Cooper
But
Kupp.
there were also some throws I saw Stafford make in that game that was a little bit of an underthrow right there. You're lucky the guy was open by 6 yards because it could have ended up bad. In their first matchup, the Rams beat the Buccaneers handily, but the Rams didn't do anything defensively that really fazed Brady. Brady threw for over 400, had a touchdown, had 0 picks on the day. It was really the Bucs defense. That game, Sean Murphy-Bunting didn't play. Carl Davis didn't play. Jamel Dean didn't play. Their top 3 cornerbacks, they're playing in this game. Also in that game, the Rams had Deshaun Jackson, who had over 100 yards in that game, who was huge in it. They had Robert Woods still. They don't have a deep threat like that now that the Bucs really have to worry about. And I do think Woods is a little bit better than OBJ.
Van Jefferson isn't a deep threat?
I don't really. He is their deep threat, but he's not a Deshaun Jackson level deep threat in my opinion. He doesn't scare defense like Deshaun Jackson. Even at Deshaun Jackson's old age, he doesn't.
I feel like that's a good thing because then you catch him sleeping, and that's been Van Jefferson all season.
Yeah, you're not going to catch the Bucs sleeping.
And Cooper Kupp is still a great downfield.
I don't know, bro. Quez Watkins was wide open multiple times down the field. They get caught sleeping.
31-0. It was 31-0, bro.
Again, but there was opportunities.
The Rams are
exactly.
Okay,
but
this is what I'm saying. Ultimately, I know that Tristan Wirfs is hobbled. He might not play. You mentioned Donald having a field day. He doesn't even line up there. I would expect more.
I said Von Miller.
I would expect more Leonard Floyd. That he's the matchup really. Leonard Floyd. And can I see the Rams really getting after Brady and making it really tough on him? I can see it, but I really am not expecting that. I think their offensive line is still the best in the league. Tristan Wirfs is a huge part of that, but you can have Gronk helping to chip Von Miller or Donald. Von Miller is good. He can be great in certain plays. He's not the elite player he once was.
Playoff time, though.
Aaron Donald is the only elite player on that defensive line, truly elite player on that defensive line. You mentioned the Jalen Ramsey versus Mike Evans matchup. Mike Evans, his last 3 matches versus Jalen Ramsey, has had 6 receptions for 58 yards. So he's been productive against Ramsey.
You said last 3 times. That's his average?
Yeah, 58 yards per game. Yeah. So it's a pretty even-keeled matchup. I think Mike Evans proved against the Eagles, against Darius Slay, that, now that I'm the option, you guys can go to me. In that game, AB didn't play. Godwin did play, but AB didn't play, so I don't think that's that big of a factor. Leonard Fournette is probably playing in this game. The Bucs have the 3rd best rushing defense in the NFL. 21st against the pass. Most of that is due to their injuries in the secondary all season long. The Eagles were the best rushing team in football by a wide margin. The Bucs shut that down. The Bucs will shut down the Rams' offensive rushing. They will shut that down. Matthew Stafford has to have that big-time performance, put the team on his back, and I don't expect that to happen. Ryan Jensen's playing, Sean Murphy-Bunting, JPP, Tristan Wirfs, game-time decision. Todd Bowles last year showed us he can scheme against Drew Brees, Aaron Rodgers, and Patrick Mahomes and be mightily successful. That defense is not injured. That defense is healthy. The offense, they lost Godwin. That's their injury. Fournette, Wirfs, but Brady is that great. I mean, it's more likely for him to make a Super Bowl than it is for Curry to make a 3-point shot. And Curry's the greatest 3-point shooter to ever live. Todd Bowles blitzes on 40% of his defensive snaps. He's going to get after Stafford. He's going to make him think. Stafford came up hobbled in Week 18 versus the Niners. Because the Cardinals game wasn't a competition, he really didn't have to put stress on himself in terms of moving and creating plays outside the pocket, being mobile, and really being a playmaker in that aspect. The Bucs have allowed the least amount of sacks in the NFL at 23. Most of that is due to the great offensive line. A lot of that also is due to Tom Brady recognizing as soon as the ball is snapped, I don't have it here. And then just throwing it away, getting rid of the ball. The Buccaneers will win this game. You don't beat Brady.
You're hoping.
You don't. I'm not hoping.
You're hoping.
You're hoping.
I'm not. I really feel confident. I genuinely have no stress about this game. The fact that Rams are underdogs is great. I'm happy. We should all go to DraftKings and put a lot of money into the Rams.
You know what's funny is that people like you have doubted Brady so many times and have been wrong.
I've never doubted Brady in my life.
You're doubting him now.
This isn't doubting him.
You're doubting him now.
I'm not.
You're doubting him now.
This is not me doubting him.
You said it was going to be a close game.
Exactly. And I said because of Brady, it's going to be close. But he's lost in his life.
The Buccaneers will win this game.
I'm interested in
the score. And it's going to be handily. It's going to be 31-17. Buccaneers will win.
2-touchdown game. I don't know if I see that. I'm riding with the Ramley. I'm riding with my Rams.
Throw them up, baby. Throw them up.
Ramley, yeah. I'm here.
I'm going to come in here next week wrong.
I like
Throw up your index, bro. I mean,
yeah, that's it right there.
Come on now. You wish you were part of that.
That's got to be the
I felt it.
Yeah,
I felt it.
Exactly.
Don't want to be part of that for more than one day. I'm good.
Bro felt it, said it was one of the greatest experiences of his sports life and said, nah, I can't experience this anymore.
You said a lot of good things, Joel. You said a lot of good things about the Bucs. For sure. I've been one that I've had to deal with Brady my whole life, and I'm not doubting him. He's somebody that I've seen win way too many times, and I don't want to see him win again. And that isn't me being biased or anything.
The Rams just aren't the 2010 New York Jets.
That's fair. No one's the 2010 New York Jets. No one's got Rex. When I look back though at week 3, because like you said, the Bucs offensive line has been great, but the Rams were able to get after him. Aaron Donald showed why he was the best defensive lineman in the NFL that game. 5 total pressures, 3 tackles for loss, and a strip sack.
Talk to him.
He was pressuring Brady the whole game up the middle. That's really how you affect Brady. If he can't step up in the pocket, he's not rolling out to the left or right. If you're able to get pressure up the middle in the interior, like the Rams were able to do in that game, you're going to have some success against Brady, even though he still had a great game. On the other hand, the Bucs defensive line wasn't really able to do anything in that game. They didn't get a sack on Stafford until the fourth quarter with like 5 minutes left in the game. The defensive line in general struggled to generate pressure. And you mentioned that Todd Bowles likes to blitz, and he did. They blitzed Devin White and Levante David 15 times. That only generated 2 pressures. When they did blitz, Stafford ate them up. He completed 80% of his passes for 90 yards and a touchdown. Stafford also had 0 turnover-worthy plays. He was great passing the ball deep, completing 60% of his passes, including 1 touchdown. So Stafford played spectacular in this game, even against a really good Bucs defense who was still pressuring him, who was blitzing. And since the Bucs were trailing most of the game, they weren't able to establish a run. I think it'll be close. So Ronald Jones and Lenny Fournette, who is expected to play, they're going to be more involved. So I don't think it's going to be a blowout either way. If the Rams want to have success, it's got to be similar to what they did in Week 3. You got to keep Stafford clean. They did a great job really limiting the pressure for Stafford. And you got to pressure Brady internally. Aaron Donald, if there's anyone who could pressure any offensive lineman, it's going to be him. Like I said, he had an MVP type performance in that game. And from there, you got to be able to run the ball with Cam Akers and Sony Michel. Cam Akers came out in that Arizona game. He looked phenomenal. He looked like he had that explosiveness, that juice, that agility, that twitch that we saw before his Achilles injury. And he even had a few plays that were called back, a few chunk plays that were called back as well. I know that the Buccaneers were able to shut down the Philadelphia Eagles rushing attack, but this offense is just more explosive. Jalen Hurts is not the quarterback Stafford is. They don't have the outside weapons that the Rams do, or the running backs. Cam Akers is better than every running back that the Eagles have, even his 3rd game back from an Achilles injury.
Miles Sanders is better than?
Yes, easily.
The guy that you always praise.
Who, Cam Akers?
When have I praised Miles?
Last
year?
Don't lie.
Yeah, no, I did praise him last year, but then once I realized... No,
yes, you did.
Let's be honest, bro.
He's a guy.
He's Cam Akers is different.
He
Not against that Bucs defense. Nope.
Cam Akers.
I love Cam Akers.
Did you see him go deep on some balls too? Yeah. Come on now.
Amazing story.
If the Bucs want to have some success in this game, you guys mentioned the injuries to this offensive line. I saw Wirfs and Jensen are both going to be game time decisions. I don't think it's a sure thing that either of them are going to be playing. So Brady's going to do what he's been doing his whole career. Short passes, screens, get the ball out quick. And defensively, you're right. You got to make Stafford beat you. You cannot let this run game going because if you're getting 5-6 yards a clip, this game is going to be over. From there, Stafford can feast off play action, hit some deep shots to Odell, Van Jefferson, get Cooper Kupp involved as well. And then the injuries, the Rams are just the more healthy team. Andrew Whitworth did get rolled up on in the last game. I believe he didn't play at all in the second half, but he does seem, he's questionable, but he does seem likely to play. It's going to be close, and I don't want to bet against Brady because you're going to be wrong more often than not. Mm-hmm. But I just think the Rams are the healthier team, and that's really important in a playoff run when you're trying to compete for a Super Bowl. So I got the Rams winning narrowly. I have you picked 28-14. I also have 28-14, but the Rams.
No, I'm 31.
Oh, yeah. Did you have 28-14?
I had 28-14 for Green Bay and San Fran.
Well, so whatever.
28-14.
No, 28-24. No one picked that? Okay.
No.
Rams 28-24.
Well, that's good. I'm glad that you guys are amigos on this one, and you guys are both gonna lose together. It's good that you two are sticking by each other's sides because you guys have been very pushy with me when I have criticized Stafford. So I'm glad that you guys are sticking by your guns throughout the entire year. Sadly, it's not going to end the best for you guys. I can already feel...
He can't even get the words out. He knows he's about to be wrong.
I can already feel after Sunday when it's already going to be the Bills and Chiefs, the text message I send you guys, like, I'm sorry. I told you Stafford couldn't do it in prime time, all this other stuff. But, okay. I hope that you guys find peace after the end result of that game.
We will.
All right, man.
I hope you guys find I feel like you guys have some fear in your heart over the picks that you guys picked.
I actually have not felt better about picks in a long time.
I feel pretty confident about them.
This is where champions are made. The wild card, we were all 5-1, but the wild card, the favorites won 5 times out of 1. Mm-hmm. So that was a very easy week to pick.